We're on. Okay, good. Hi everyone, welcome to Cooking Lessons. Well listen, I have shown you a few times how to make bone broth, and if you're wondering how to make bone broth and you want to know how to do it in a crock pot versus an instant pot, I promise you both those videos are right here on this Facebook page, and just all you have to do is go to the left, click on the videos, and you will find them. Okay, so I make bone broth every single week. I should say Mark makes bone broth every single week. But as soon as this thing is about empty, we'll just take it, create a bunch of soup with it, and then start on a new pot of bone broth. But bone broth is a staple in our home, and the reason it is because it is so amazingly good for you. It's full of collagen, which is going to plump up your skin, and it's going to help your bone health as well. There's more collagen in your bones than there is calcium, as a matter of fact. It's good for your hair, nail, and skin, like I said. Also good for your digestion, and it helps to heal your gut. There's so many things about bone broth that are just absolutely amazing, and it's a cheap, inexpensive way to get all of this good stuff in. So one of the things that I have created, though, it has been for a lot of my women who are in my coaching groups or in the Hot Melt Sprint, is this thing called the Mindful Mug. Because for a lot of us who have had eating issues in the past, and maybe even food addictions and eating too fast, eating too much, whatever, this Mindful Mug, having a mindful mug of bone broth before you have your meal, is super helpful because it's a reminder. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it, then I'm going to show you. I just boiled the heck out of this. Never let your bone broth boil, by the way. Don't do what I just did. You're supposed to warm it nicely, never let it boil. I was going to turn it off and then forgot to because I got busy talking about this. My lips are moving too fast. But I'm going to show you what you can do to make it really a spectacularly delicious little respite, so that you have that moment to get back to center and to figure out how you're going to approach your meal. Mindfully, of course. So this Mindful Mug, by the way, you can get one of these if you want. All you have to do is order $200 worth of supplements in our store, or $100 worth of supplements, and you spend $5 and you'll get this. $5 extra, you'll get this. $200, you get it free. And you can go to SavingDinner.com, and our supplements are right there. You just click the nav bar where it says shop and you will find them. But we love our Mindful Mug, and it makes all the difference in the world. It reminds us that we need to be eating when we're hungry. We need to eat according to what our hunger hormones are telling us, not according to the clock, which I know is like a really hard thing to do. But once you start to do this, this is how you start to heal your hunger hormones and how you start to feel hunger again and know when to start and when to stop. That's really important. The other thing you have to remember is it gives you a moment to remember that you need to eat the target trifecta way. And we do this with our smoothies. We also do it with our plate. That means that there's protein, fat, and fiber on that plate. That means you have a balanced meal, and your body is going to repay you in spades. That fiber is for your gut. It's going to help with your digestion, and it's going to help to keep a good, healthy gut. That protein builds every cell in your body, and the fat lubes the whole system, and that's how hormones run. They need good, healthy fat. Those three things are also satiating, and they're going to help you get through a meal and feel really satisfied at the end of it. The third thing is it's going to remind you, eat slowly, take smaller bites, put your fork down, have a conversation, be present with your meal. All the things that we, I don't know, I think I started this with as a mom, but you're always speeding through your meals, eating standing up, watching TV, and not being mindful, not being present with your meal. And the fourth thing is, when you're present and you're at the table and you're enjoying a meal, it's a sacred moment. This is a moment with your family, with your spouse, with your partner, that you get to connect. And this is just one of the ways that we can do this is with our meals. And then the last thing, of course, is that you get to have some gratitude for the meal that you're about to consume. This is what a Mindful Mug does. It helps to remind you about all of these things. And if this is how you are mindfully going into a meal, you're going to get control over the food that you eat. Believe me, this is a big deal. But sometimes it can be can kind of be thinking, yeah, but bone broth, whatever. I'm going to show you a couple of things that you can do to make amazing bone broth, an amazing mindful mug that is just something you look forward to, almost like a cocktail. So first of all, we're starting, of course, with the bone broth, and you know I'm just a real nut about making my own. You can buy it in the store. It's expensive, but you can make it. It's inexpensive, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it to have your own bone broth. So that's one that we have. And then I have some different things that I like. And when I do my workshops and have a bone broth break for all of my people who show up, we're doing Full Bloom again in September. You can find out about that at savinhdinner.com/bloom. I put out a different array of little condiments that you can put into your bone broth, and wow, what a difference it makes. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. And I'm obviously not going to be able to drink this because I boiled the nonsense out of it. There we go. And fill it up about 3/4 of the way. Now this one I know is going to need a little salt. The thing to know about salt is an electrolyte as well as necessary. Sodium is necessary for every function in your body and for all the cells. What you need to remember is to use good salt. And if you salt things before you eat them, let's stop that habit. That's just a bad habit. Taste it first, salt it later. So I know what this bone broth tastes like. It needs a little bit of salt, so I'm going to add some. And I'm going to do just a pinch is all it needs. Yeah, and if you're in the sprint and you're kind of going through the low carb flu, or they also call it the keto flu, and this is when you're changing up your fuel systems. You're going from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, and there's symptoms that come with it. You might get a headache, you might feel kind of body achy, you might feel like you can't think. Try a cup of bone broth with some salt in it. It'd make a big, big difference. The other thing that I really like is cilantro, all chopped up, and I add a little pinch of that. Now cilantro is a detoxifier, and it's delicious. It adds a lot of flavor. Some people like it, some people don't. Can I just tell you, I'm in the like department, so I added a whole bunch of it. The other thing that's really tasty is to add some lime or some lemon. I prefer lime. And a squeeze of lime adds a squeeze of vitamin C, and it makes it really, really nice. The other thing is some like it hot. So I've got a little sriracha here, and I'm going to add a little squeeze of sriracha. It's wonderful. I also have this stuff called Green Dragon Hot Sauce. Why not? Go all the way. Yes. I got this one from Trader Joe's. I really love this stuff. I don't have any idea what's in it except a lot of like jalapenos and other things. It's so good on scrambled eggs. This is the Green Dragon Hot Sauce. Sriracha and Green Dragon Hot Sauce. The other thing that I have is coconut aminos. Now, coconut aminos are a lot like, it's really a soy sauce substitute. And I'm not really good with soy. I've got a thyroid condition. Soy and I don't get along so well. Soy can also be inflammatory and disruptive, so you might want to have try some of this. I got this one at Trader Joe's. You can get it online fairly inexpensively. And this adds a little bit of flavor too. I know this looks like a big concoction. I'm just showing you all the things. You don't have to do all of these. The other one is really good. It's a coconut butter. Now it's different than coconut oil because it has not just the oil in it, it has also the coconut flesh in it. And if you smell this, it smells like a Mounds bar. Yum. And so you take just a little bit, and it's kind of crumbly, just a little bit, and you add that good healthy fat in, and it gives it a little texture. And look at me with my double spoons. There we go. And if you could smell this, it smells completely different and no longer feels like a cup of broth. It's now augmented and has a lot of yummy stuff in it. It's really good.
You ever try parsley instead of cilantro?
Yes. Yes, I have, but it's just personal preference. I love cilantro. Parsley and cilantro are both good detoxifiers, and use plenty of them. Chop them up fresh and put them in everything, and allow, it works, it gets the heavy metals out of your body. Not like tomorrow, but it's part of the process, so it's pretty good stuff. The other thing that I have to tell you is, after you have your little, you've had your little mindful mug, this is a thought trigger for you. It keeps you mindful. So when you go into your meal, you're going to be ready. And you're going to be ready with all the tools in your tool belt. You're going to be equipped to go to the table, and you're going to be present. So say a little prayer of thanksgiving for the food that you're about to eat. Have a heart full of gratitude and enjoy it. This is how we get our mindful mugs in. And if you want to see me tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a webinar teaching you all about how to do keto right. There's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. There's a way that's anti-inflammatory, and there's a way that's definitely inflammatory. So if you want to find out about that, I'd love to have you join us. Go to savingdinner.com/webinar. I'll be there. I hope you will be too. Thanks for joining me. Peace.